let's talk about a company which has posted results. We have Greenpanel Industries, which posted quite a weak set of second quarter earnings. Revenue declined around 13%. Net profit came in over 40% lower on a year-over-year basis. And there was a contraction on the margin front as well. So what we've seen this time was around 17%. And last year, the margin was closer to around 25%. Now, this was because we saw a steep increase in the raw material cost. There was higher import volumes and also an increase in domestic competition. So Vishwanathan Venkatramani, the CFO of Greenpanel Industries, joins us now to take some questions. Sir, thanks a lot for joining us today. This is Pavitra. If I can just begin by asking you about the volumes, because, you know, earlier you had said that you're targeting 12 to 15% for the MDF volumes and around 8 to 10% on the plywood volumes for the full year. Do you think this is still something you can do, or would you like to bring down this guidance?
Yeah, we have scaled down the guidance. It's been a challenging quarter with imports going up more than 4 times year on year. And in view of that, I think we did reasonably well to maintain volumes on a basis. We saw a 7% growth in volumes, as compared to Q1. And I think with the focus on the channel, we will do better in the next 2 quarters.
So you said you do want to bring down the guidance for the full year. Can you tell us what you expect now on the MDF and the plywood?
I think it will be low single-digit margins. So I think probably somewhere around 3 to 5% on the MDF side. And I think plywood will possibly see some degrowth.
3 to 4% volume growth for MDF?
Yeah. 3 to 5%.
3 to 5.
And degrowth for plywood.
That's right,
sir?
Yeah.
Okay. So when will this change, the situation, in your assessment?
Like I mentioned, we saw a small improvement sequentially. So I think probably, like I mentioned, we'll see low single-digit volume growth in the current year. And things will probably improve next year. And a new plant will also be operational around Q3 next year. And then we will be manufacturing the thin MDF where we have no competition. And I think that will help us to, get some immediate market share. And so probably the volume growth which I had forecast for the current year would probably shift to the next financial year.
Okay, so maybe we can expect that around 12% in FY25 and 8 to 10% on plywoods in FY25, not in FY24. Let me also ask you about the margins, because we do know that there was a sharp contraction over there. What can we expect on this going forward? I know there was a higher expense that you had to undertake this time around, but what are you expecting to end the year with for margins?
We had guided for 23 to 25% margins in MDF and 8% margin on the plywood side. So I think we'll finish around 22, 23 on the MDF side and low single digit on the plywood side.
So overall, sir, where would you be? 18, 19% for the full year?
Yeah, probably around 17, 18% for the full year.
Okay, and there, I mean, it's too early, of course, but again, I mean, would margins beyond that, say H1 25, I mean, are there signs that can move up, or it'll be under 20%?
I think it should move up, provided we don't see further inflation in raw material costs. Then with the scale up in volumes, it's bound to improve.
Okay, it is bound to improve. Sir, you said that you are expecting a little bit of improvement because of your new capacity in a product where there is less competition, etc., coming up. But otherwise, I mean, are there any other fundamental drivers which you expect to lead to this sort of uptick, in FY25 onwards? I mean, what are you really expecting? What will change really in the marketplace?
No, I don't think, there's anything wrong with the fundamentals because in spite of a 400% increase in import volumes, we have still been able to maintain volumes on a sequential basis. And even on a sequential basis, import volumes have more than doubled. So I think in this challenging environment, we have done well to, protect our volumes, protect our credit terms. So it's been a reasonable performance, but definitely there's a strong scope for improvement.
Okay, we understand it's been a challenging time. Sir, could you tell us what the utilization could look like going forward? I do understand it's around 72% for the MDF part right now and around 50% for plywoods. What do you expect it to look like?
I think for the second half, we should be targeting about a 85% capacity utilization on the MDF side and between 60 to 65% on the plywood side.
Okay. Also, could you that is on the capacity utilization. Could you just tell us what part of your total domestic volumes is value-added products? And how is that section performing?
Yeah, so it's about 54 to 55% of the domestic volumes. And that we are targeting to take up to 65% by the end of FY25.
Okay. Just one last question. I mean, compared to the previous year, FY23, I think you will spend you'll spend substantially more on advertising in FY24. Will the marketing intensity have to be sort of increased? Do you see that happening going forward as well?
No, I don't think. I think we have just started the process of branding from around Q4 last year. So I think we'll continue to keep that in a range of 2.5% for FY24 and 25. And then depending upon capacity utilization, we might think about scaling that.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you joining in and good speaking with you here on CNBC TV18. Speak with you soon again and good luck. Well, the markets come off a little bit.